Welcome to Eerie Bites of History, your daily serving of strange bites of the past. Today, we have a murderer hidden by spectacle, the passing of a monarch, and a birth of a legendary pageant, all of which happened on September 8th. Let's begin. On September 8th, 1888, London awoke to shocking news. The second confirmed victim of the notorious serial killer known as Jack the Ripper. Fear and outrage quickly spread throughout Whitechapel as rumors circulated about shadowy figures stalking in the fog-filled streets. The police scrambled, the public panicked, and the newspapers rushed to print the grisly details. But across the Atlantic, a very different headline was stealing the spotlight. The same day in Ontario, Canada, the world's most famous elephant, Jumbo, was tragically struck and killed by a train. Jumbo had been the star attraction of P.T. Barnum's Circus, beloved by audiences for his size and gentle demeanor. When word of his death reached the press, many papers gave the elephant's demise more space than the Ripper murderer itself. The irony is almost unbelievable. One of history's most infamous killers found himself overshadowed by a circus elephant. Jumbo's death proved to be more captivating than a serial killer terrorizing London. The Ripper's reign of terror took second place in the public's imagination, reminding us that sometimes even the darkest crimes can't compare with the sheer spectacle of show business. On September 8th, 2022, Queen Elizabeth II, the longest reigning monarch in British history, passed away at Balmoral Castle in Scotland at the age of 96. Her death marked the end of a reign that lasted more than 70 years, spanning the aftermath of World War II to the modern digital age. She had become a symbol of continuity, a constant presence throughout the decades of politics, social, and cultural upheaval. The news of her passing spread across the globe, sparking an outpouring of grief for millions who had never known a world without her. Yet, even as tributes poured in, whispers of conspiracy theories began to circulate. Some speculated that her death had occurred earlier than officially announced, that the royal family had delayed reporting it to carefully manage the transfer of power to King Charles III. Others pointed to her final public appearance just days before. She looked frail but still carried out her duties. Whether fact or rumor, Elizabeth's passing felt monumental, closing the book on a second Elizabethan era for Britain and the Commonwealth. It was the end of an age of stability and the beginning of a new, uncertain chapter. On September 8, 1921, the very first Miss America pageant was held in Atlantic City, New Jersey. At the time, the event wasn't even called Miss America. It began as a simple publicity stunt dreamed up by a local businessman who wanted to keep tourists in town after Labor Day. They organized what they called a fall frolic, complete with parades, music, and most notably a beauty competition. Out of the handful of contestants, a 16-year-old high school student from Washington, D.C. named Margaret Gorman stole the show. Standing at just 5'1", weighing barely 100 pounds, she was described as embodying the American girl of the era, youthful, wholesome, and charming. Gorman's victory earned her the title Miss America, though at the time she was more often referred to as the Golden Mermaid. The prize itself was hardly glamorous by today's standards. In addition to her crown, she received a year's worth of clothing and even a bed frame. Yet the impact of the first pageant was enormous. What started as a tourist gimmick quickly evolved into a national tradition, one that reflects shifting ideals of beauty and American identity through the 20th century, unknowingly starting a cultural phenomenon that still sparks fascination and controversy more than a century later. Like your history snack sized? Drop us a comment with your favorite bite and subscribe. Join us daily for your eerie dose of the past.